the story. Hey, everyone, and welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast. This week brought to you by, I'm Gus.
I'm Gavin.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Chris.
I'm Gus.
This
is a President's Day podcast. So
Does that mean we celebrate the president?
we celebrate
Or just previous
president,
presidents?
the office of the president.
All right.
I think we celebrate past
I think
presidents.
it's George Washington's birthday.
It used to be George Washington's birthday and Abraham Lincoln's birthday were like two different holidays, and they decided just to combine them, and now we have President's Day.
But whose
which
birthday
president
is it
won?
actually on? Is it? It's George
It's closer to
Washington's.
George Washington's, yeah.
It's closer to George
they
Washington.
Because-
just
Yeah,
leave it
Lincoln's on
closer?
the 12th.
President's Day is always on a Monday.
Oh,
Or so it's not like a set date. It's always
Gotcha.
sliding. So we're pre-taping is what I'm getting at. So sorry, I can't read.
Today
the
is
tweets.
also
So-
Queen Wednesday.
Is it
Yeah.
Ode to our president. This day is for you.
past presidents?
Oh, okay. It's just president. Is it specifically past? It's
Yeah,
just probably
it is.
presidents.
President's Day. I'm looking it up.
You think Obama right now is his first President's Day? Then he's just like, soaking it in.
Is
he
it like
getting cards?
is it like an extra Father's Day? Like, like, do his kids give him like a Happy President's Day card?
I'm
How
sure
many-
he's getting a lot of tweets
So it's a day that only 6 people can get a card for.
that
Like,
are
how many
still
living
alive.
presidents are there?
So there's
Carter,
Obama,
Bushes.
1 Bush, 2 Bush, Clinton, Carter, Reagan's dead.
A lot
Is
of them are
Ford still
dead.
alive? Ford died, right?
4 died.
Yeah, so it's 5.
5, yeah.
But not including Trump.
Not including
Right, we
Trump.
said Pat.
Okay.
Are we gonna count Pence in like 3 months? Sorry, I won't. I
Don't
won't.
get
I won't do it. I'm not. No,
political,
I'm not. I just
Brandon.
got to get that in. Hey,
That's fine. I do not mind political talk. Talk whatever. Say whatever the fuck. you
Really?
want. Yeah, I don't care.
because I kept it specifically non-political last week.
We were
Todd's
non-political
great.
for like 8 years, and look what fucking happened. I'm not doing that shit anymore. We obviously have to talk about it.
I like
I
that.
blame us.
I like that.
Us specifically?
Us specifically.
I never got political like on social media until this year.
Yeah, it's like I fuck it.
I didn't either.
Like,
I'm not even from this country, and I got
you know,
stuck
I
in.
had a thought in the shower the other day. I was like, I'm really bad at drawing. Like I struggle to draw stick figures, and I was like, if Donald Trump can be president, I'm going to be a cartoonist. Like I want to start a webcomic, right? Like if that can happen, anything can happen.
It is a weird. It's oddly inspirational.
Right, I was like, I took like inspiration from it. Like I can do whatever I want.
So did you try drawing?
I'm going to start. Like I'm gonna go. Like fuck it. I'm gonna make a webcomic, and I'm gonna
Do
put
it.
it in my Rooster Teeth account and be like, look, I'm a cartoon artist now.
Yeah, but in 3 months you're gonna end up on the front page of CNN with like the FBI coming to arrest you.
Like I keep trying to read presidents. It's like it's really long, and we're just talking, so I can't read all of it.
The crazy thing for me, the same effect has just been other people who could become president. Like before, I was like Schwarzenegger, like assuming he was eligible to run. He's not because I wasn't born in America, but
Right.
that would be weird. He could never be president. But now, oh man, yeah, I wish. It's completely weird. Mark Zuckerberg's gonna run for some kind of political office. I can see that.
It's just rich people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really what it boils down to. I joked about it at one point, but I think it would be interesting. And I think we definitely talked about this on the podcast, but it would be interesting in 2020 to try and like crowdfund a run for the presidency, like via like Kickstarter or Indiegogo. And then I think Bernie even suggested like starting like an internet party where like your whole platform is the preservation of net neutrality and the advancement of the internet as a commerce engine.
So someone tomorrow is probably gonna start a kick fund or
A
ki-
kick
kick
fund? Yeah, they
fund,
very well
a
start a kick
fundraiser,
fund.
a Kickstarter for you and Bernie. You guys did the joke, right? It was Sarge and Simmons for president, and then Church and Tucker for president. Was that
Something like
part of
that.
like a campaign, a Rock the Vote campaign?
I think it was, yeah.
Can you get a fictional person to become president?
That was
I don't think
that was
so.
an episode of
Black Mirror?
Black Mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah. A
Except
cartoon character ran for
it was an MP though, right?
What do you mean?
Like it wasn't like the prime minister or anything. It was like
Oh.
a member of parliament.
Yeah, maybe. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are the rules for writing candidates?
I think I think having
are
you
you
have to
real?
be born in the U.S., which means you have to be born, which means you have to be real.
But technically,
I think though a
Superman was
state has
born.
the authority. If a single state wanted to do it, they probably could. States have like an unbelievable amount of power in when it comes to this. Like sometimes like they just leave certain candidates off the ballot that they don't like. I think they did it in like the 60s. They did it like
I mean,
with Lincoln.
like in England, you vote for the party, right? So you're just voting
Right.
for ideas, really. And if they did that here, but they just had the figurehead be a fictional person, that'd be the same. Like you could have Captain America run for president, and he would just have all the the values of that party.
Well, you'd have
Why not?
Captain America and Iron Man. Like, they have the same. It's the same concept. And even what's going on now, like with the Registration Act, the Mutant Registration Act, like we have to know people who could be a threat, and we have to know where they are at all times. They have to be on a roster.
Well, I think a
X-Men?
lot of that stuff was written as, commentary on
Yeah.
popular culture and stuff
Sure,
that was happening
sure.
in society. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I mean, obviously,
and politics,
it's
like-
not like the U.S. is copying Marvel.
right.
It's more Marvel was copying.
No,
like-
that's not what I'm implying. What I'm saying is like that story's already been told. So if you wanted to
In
fictional
X-Men.
characters, it totally works.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. To get back to the point, no, I don't think you can have a fictional character. I see what you mean about
You have to have a passport, probably.
you probably have unless you're the queen, right?
Yeah.
You said she doesn't have a
She doesn't have
passport.
one. And in fact, James Bond does have a passport.
He does.
The UK government made an actual, real working passport that has James Bond and Daniel Craig's picture.
No.
Yeah.
That's a counterfeit. That's not fake. His name's not
It
James
was
Bond.
made by the government.
That seems fucked up. I read something the other day about
It probably doesn't work, but it's a real.
about that universe, that supposedly like James Bond has a license to kill or whatever. But then I read like this depressing fact that said something like, in reality, those kinds of agents would not have a license to kill because anything they do outside of the UK is illegal anyway.
Mm.
So it's like they don't need a license
Is
to
it?
kill.
Isn't it opposite with the CIA?
What do you mean?
I mean, anything they do, they don't have any kind of authority inside the U.S., but they have, I guess, some kind of legal authority from the CIA operating outside the U.S.
Yeah, but the U.S.
The
law
U.S. has no
right.
jurisdiction over.
Well, right,
unless,
but I mean, like, they're not going to get in trouble or fired from the CIA.
unless it was like a.
I guess they need permission. Can't just go around
Right.
poisoning leaders.
It could have been like a UN thing where this, everyone in the United Nations agree, like a diplomatic immunity thing from Lethal Weapon, like that.
So, do you think it's funny? So, supposedly the North Korean, the brother of the North Korean president was poisoned by 2 women.
Yeah.
Like, specifically, they pointed that out. Like, what do you think the context was? Like, he was getting seduced, and they, like, fed him, like, a cherry or a strawberry, which is poison.
No,
I like to think that's how I'd want to go if I was poisoned by 2 women.
it happened in an airport. So I think that what I heard was
Airport
that
bathroom.
they poisoned him with needles. So they probably just ran up to him and stuck him real fast.
Oh, because he said he felt something in the back of the
Have
neck.
you seen the image from the security camera of one of the women?
Why not just shank him at that point? Why go right up to him and poison
Probably
him?
because they poisoned him so they could get away. Like he doesn't immediately die. Like
Oh.
it's like if that happened to you, you would think maybe you just got bit by a bug or
With a woman behind me?
yeah. I mean,
You'd be
you
like,
think bugs don't bite you when there's a woman behind you?
You think?
I can't connect to the.
I don't know if
TV,
you've
so
seen
I
him.
can't
Maybe you think
show
it was
it.
weird. Like, why are these
But-
2 women so close to me?
Do we have it? I can't connect to it for some reason. But I don't know if y'all can find it. But one of the assassins, they released the security camera footage of her this morning. She's wearing a shirt that says LOL. Which I think is pretty baller. Like if you're gonna go out and kill somebody, like I'm gonna put my LOL shirt on
it is
today.
a weird thing to think about, like when you're picking out your clothes at the closet, like what.
Yeah, what's my kill shirt?
Well, I think you want something that's gonna throw people off. So I guess you go for the the opposite effect. I get that.
It's just a weird thing.
So
There we got it right there. I heard about this repeatedly, and it's actually really annoying to me because I got probably 100 tweets yesterday saying, "Hey, look, this guy looks like you," with the photo of
But
Kim Jong Nam.
you get that a lot, right?
get
People
that a
ask
lot.
if you're Asian.
Yeah, I was like,
He's kind of. You're not.
we both wear glasses. I don't think we look the same. He had stubble on his face. Do you think I look like that guy?
You're skinnier.
Whip him up. I haven't seen him.
Kim Jong Nam.
I think you guys have similar personalities.
What?
Apparently, he just likes to live life.
Not
Gus
anymore.
doesn't like to do that.
I don't think he looks like you, but
I think
it
it's
is really
kind of
funny.
I think it's kind of the glasses.
I think it's the glasses. Yeah. So yeah, I think this is the photo that they send all the time to me.
I mean, if you put a vacuum end to your face and it just sort of sucked everything a little bit in, like this,
Maybe
it would look more like
Yeah,
you.
What was that movie where the president had a twin brother, and the president died, but they didn't want to lose power, so
No,
they took his
it's-
twin brother and put him in a power?
it's Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not a twin brother. It's a
just a
he
random
he's just
dude.
a random dude who happens to look exactly like the president.
Oh, that's perfect. Maybe you can take over North Korea.
This dude was not the leader of North Korea. You know
no,
that,
no,
right?
no. But I mean, the reason that they think he might have been killed is because he has some kind of claim to the leadership. He was the older brother, and
half brother.
sure, the older half-brother, but still the oldest son of Kim Jong-il, so he could be a threat. It's
Listen,
like Game of Thrones shit.
Do not even float that out there. Do you know what just happened to this guy? He got stabbed with needles and died in a Malaysian airport. Do not even say I have any claim to the North Korean leadership. No, I don't want it. No, I have nothing. Nothing. The fuck are you trying to kill me?
I'm sorry. You're the hope. You're the great hope.
You know how often I'm in an airport?
You could bring stability
how
to
often
the
there's
east.
a woman behind me with a needle?
You could bring stability to the east.
No, what? No, absolutely not.
Gus Sorola for North Korean president.
So much.
So it's funny how all of that comes out so soon. You know, right now there's a crazy amount of leaks going on, and apparently CNN knows them all. And I think the president was complaining about it yesterday. And I think the funniest thing was CNN reporting that Donald Trump is watching CNN in the White House right now. And for him, it's like, how do you not know who the leak is? Just like, look around. One of these people in the room is leaking. Like, it's insane that he doesn't have an idea who that is.
I'm sure they might have an idea. They're just not saying.
Like it's rusty, but no one wants to say it.
Right. Like you got to figure that stuff out. I'm sure that they're working to try to figure out who it is.
Maybe it's Donald Trump.
Maybe that would be weird. Like when he's asleep, like he's like instead of sleepwalking, he's sleep leaking. It's like he wakes like he's still asleep. He picks up the phone and just starts like saying stuff and then hangs it up.
Well, did you ever hear that rumor? I think that in the late 80s or early 90s, there was a reporter who called the tower and then Trump's PR guy picked up.
Oh,
but
yeah.
it was supposedly Donald Trump with like a really shitty, different accent.
Yeah, he pretended to be his own publicist for a while.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah,
You have to say allegedly for everything or you'll get sued.
I think even if you say allegedly, that doesn't protect you. That's like saying you have to tell me if you're a cop.
Yeah.
That's not true.
That's like saying no offense, but you're an idiot.
Yeah. It's like what?
I'm just saying.
That's right. You are just saying.
I hate that phrase.
Is that what you say?
No, I don't say it. I just don't like it when other people do it. It's
Just
I'm just saying. It's like, what is that trying? Yeah, I know. Like you're
Yeah,
just
you said it. Well done.
you're not making it any easier.
Chris, do you say that?
No, I don't think
What
so.
is your most annoying habit?
My most annoying habit? I don't know. You guys tell me.
I don't feel like I didn't spend enough time with you to figure that out.
I had yesterday when I was talking to Chris, I had to go ask him if he could be on the podcast, and I decided I was going to go ask him in person instead of asking him via
Because it's harder for him to say no.
Messenger, because I wanted to reply right away. Like I didn't want to send a message and be like, oh, did he get it? Did he not get it? So I walked over to where Chris
You never
works,
come to me in person.
and Chris is sitting there, and Aaron is sitting next to him, and I asked Chris, hey, listen, we're pre-taping the podcast. Can you come do it? And then Aaron just like gives him this glowering look, like you better not do it. And Aaron's like, we're really busy, and Chris is like, you went to New Zealand. I can do a podcast.
I think your most annoying habit is that you're always near Aaron.
Yeah, that's pretty annoying for me. No,
This isn't really annoying, but it was always particular. I don't know if you do it still, but when we're in Ralph Ablanedo at our South office, after you would finish something that you were working on, and you were going home for the day, you would immediately run to your car.
Oh.
You would sprint down the stairs, sprint through the parking lot, and get in your car. And not on like when you had something serious. This was every day. Like you saved yourself about 10 seconds.
I
Yeah,
like
but over
it.
time, that build
Yeah, yeah.
adds up.
It's also, it's like everyone thinks I'm got really important stuff to do.
No, none of us thought that.
No, what I think
But
is
I bet no one ever asked you to do anything on the way out because you were like,
Oh shit, he's
yeah, it's like, oh.
it's not that I think you have something important to do. What I think is you're acting like a child because it's only children who run everywhere. Like you see
Yeah.
kids running, it's like why not just walk? It's the same thing. You're like it's the same thing with you where you're running instead of just walking.
I used to do that. I used to run home from the pub because walking was too boring and slow. Just sprint.
Isn't that how you stepped on a hedgehog?
Yeah.
You stepped on a hedgehog?
No, I stepped on a family of hedgehogs.
What?
What?
Yeah, it was an accident. Well, I only stepped on the hedgehog babies. I was walking home and I just my foot skidded. I was like, oh, I stepped in dog shit. And then there was a hedgehog sniffing around my foot, and I was like, oh. I just crushed like 4 or 5 little baby hedgehogs.
Did you have to adopt them and like
No.
heal them?
No, I did this, and then I wiped my shoe on the grass.
You guys
and
just have hedgehogs running around?
yeah, they're really common.
Really?
walk
That's
around all the time.
awesome. I love hedgehogs.
We have hedgehogs and badgers.
In your backyard or
It's like
anywhere?
it's like
all over the
Narnia or
place.
something.
Foxes. It's like here, there's raccoons everywhere, and there's no raccoons in England, which is kind of strange.
See, I just got a dog, and his profession is hunting that stuff.
His
He makes
profession?
money.
Yeah,
doing
he's a
it?
Scottish
There you go.
Terrier.
So I stood on all the stuff to the right,
Oh,
and it
wanna-
was
the spikes
it was
didn't work then, huh?
one of the worst guilts I've ever had in my life.
So your dog has a profession.
A lot of dogs have professions. A
Why
lot
do
of,
you- why
I
do you
mean,
say it that way?
historically, a lot
Why do you
of.
say it that way? My dog has a profession?
Yeah,
No,
look,
he
look, there's a
doesn't.
lot of dogs. Like, look, like
Your
a
dog
lot of
doesn't
like
file
people
taxes.
who have sheep.
Your
right?
dog gets
no, no, no.
paid.
Paycheck.
A lot of people have sheep, right? The only reason they have a sheepdog or a herding dog is so it herds.
Yeah, but
And
you
like,
don't-
so
but
like,
you
it
don't
has to
pay
do
them.
that, or it won't get food,
Your
or
dog-
it won't get shelter.
Your dog isn't hunting or herding or anything, right?
Well, not yet, because we
Not
live in an
yet?
apartment. But like we have the same dog. We have a Scottish Terrier at our house in Houston, and we have no squirrels in the backyard. We have no badgers, because if he sees a rodent, he immediately goes for it, and he has these razor sharp teeth that just kill. You should see him. Like, let me see. I have a video where he.
The way he says things sometimes are just, it's just, what is
Oh
it?
no, this is not the right video.
Hey, I want to see that video.
What was that?
Oh, okay. So, all right.
that in
we'll
your
preempt
house?
that. Yeah. So I went to New Orleans with Paula for my birthday, and we were out of town for
Happy
about
birthday.
Oh, thank you.
old are you?
For
How old are you
about,
now, like 45?
it feels like that. Paula loves reminding me I'm in my 30s, and I just can't wait till she's 30. Anyway, so we went to New Orleans for like 3 or 4 days, and we couldn't put our puppy at a boarding place because he's too young. He doesn't have enough shots. So we had a neighbor who came in like 3 or 4 times a day to take them out, but they were
Could
just.
asked me. I would have taken care of your dog.
I don't trust you to take care of a dog.
Oh man.
Fuck.
To be fair,
You don't
that's-
have any dogs.
Yeah,
That's
I
why.
don't know how to take care of a dog.
You just
I,
walk it, let it poop, feed it.
yeah, I
okay.
could do
Well,
that.
hold
I
on,
have
wait,
a
wait,
feeling
wait,
you would
wait,
take it to
Chris.
get him ice cream and like.
Yeah,
feed
what do
him
you
ice
imagine
cream.
taking care of a dog is?
I mean, you like feed it, and then you take it outside, and it pees, and it poops, and then you take it back up and you water it, right?
Yeah.
You
yeah.
water
You
it.
water it.
Yeah, you stick it by the water. Right? I've had pets. I had a cat once.
I don't like that it's always had. Like, what happened to all these pets?
Yeah, a cat got hit by a car.
Were you taking it outside
Gavin
to
stepped on
water
it.
it?
No, I just like to go out and explore. It was sad.
That is sad.
It was
Well-
no like stepping on hedgehog sad, but like
No, well, at least nobody owned those hedgehogs.
I mean,
That
that,
I'm aware
that
of.
cat lived his life.
Yeah.
Life's about risk.
Yeah.
So we were gone for about 3 or 4 days. We did have a friend come in and take care of the dogs, but I had 2 security cameras, just in order to monitor them, make sure they're okay, make sure one didn't get out. And they're those little Nest cameras, and they work great. You can monitor it from your phone, but they're very small, and you can't easily hide them. Like they are like these little round cameras with a stand.
You're meant to put them on the wall.
You can, or you can just plop them somewhere.
If you plop them, then the cable will pull them down.
Well, it's not permanent. Anyway, so
All right.
it was mounted on my desk.
Okay.
Like, it wasn't on the ground, it was in the desk. And this puppy is a lot of energy, and he's just super curious. He just walks around everywhere looking at stuff. So at some point, he saw the camera. So he got on the couch, stood up on the side of it, knocked it over, and like started inspecting it. And you think he'd just look at it and walk away. But I don't know if he was trying to eat it or what he thought he was doing, but he keeps going and coming back consistently until the thing just kind of like keels over. And you think, all right, he's done. And then he comes back again and completely smashes it. And as he knows it's gone, walks away like a boss.
so I
It
get
would have been more bust if he just took a dump right in
Yeah.
frame and then walked off.
He took a dump nearby. That's what I don't understand about puppies. Like 90% of the time he goes out to the balcony to do his business because we have grass that's shipped to us. And it's great. It goes on the balcony. It's
You have
wonderful.
grass that's shipped to
Wait,
you?
wait, wait, wait. You buy turf?
Yeah.
But you don't.
No, it's not turf. It's real grass.
Wait, but turf is real grass.
Oh, I guess turf.
Would it be like you buy like a couple pieces of sod? Or I mean,
Yeah, so there's this company called Fresh Patch.
all right.
oh, come on, they're not paying us shit.
Every 2 weeks they ship me grass from California. And it's really great because it comes in this small cardboard box. And then you take the cardboard box, you put it on the balcony, and then it's designed to where you just cut the tape. And then you take off the top. And then all of a sudden you just have this nice little box for them, like a litter
Suddenly.
box. It's great. And like dogs love it. They immediately go to it. They're like, oh, this isn't some shit plastic. I'm going to do my business here. So 90% of the time he does his business there, but then sometimes he just pees or poops somewhere else in the apartment, and I just want to get inside his head. Like, I don't understand the thought process. And I literally sit there and try to think what goes through his mind, and then I realize he's just kind of like a little dumb animal.
Well, I think the problem is his brain is about this big, and then that means that he just poops when he needs poop come out.
Yeah.
Okay. You buy grass from California that's shipped to you so you can put it on your balcony.
Yeah.
Why don't you just take your dog out?
We do. We take them out, but I mean, they pee and poop a lot.
Why
And
don't you-
especially like if it's like midnight or 1 a.m. or 2 a.m.
This seems like
Plus,
the
it's
most
the easiest way to potty train a dog
seems
because
like the
he
most
immediately-
inefficient thing in the world.
What are you talking about?
There's grass everywhere. You can't just get some grass here in Austin. You have to get grass shipped from California.
Yeah, where am I going to go to buy grass in Austin?
I'll give you some grass. I got grass.
You can
No,
buy
you-
grass.
okay,
buy,
so
dude,
you go to
can
like
buy
Home
grass.
Depot and buy like a piece of sod or
Why
two.
would I do that when for $20 grass shows up at my house?
The
and
carbon
it's like
footprint
it's
on
like
that
an inch and a
grass.
half of
Like,
dirt.
I don't care about the environment, but that is so wasteful.
How is that wasteful?
You're having to ship all of this grass from California?
Yeah,
There's
and then the grass
here.
dies, I throw it away. All grass dies, and then I take the card box that it comes in, and then I put it in the dumpster.
So you
Or sorry, I
can't-
recycle it. They get money. Their business keeps surviving.
So you can't just plant this grass in some mud and keep it forever?
On my balcony, no.
Why not?
Because the dogs are
That's
going to keep
just
doing
ridiculous.
a mess. You need to refresh it. If
It's
a dog keeps
grass.
pissing on it,
It will rain on it and wash it and grow it.
no,
and you
that's
can
not
cut
how it works. If it's just cut up in a box.
How deep does floor have to be for grass to live?
What do you mean floor? It's this concrete balcony.
Yeah, but if you put it on like a foot of mud, will it live?
I'm not going to do that. You have any idea how difficult that is? And the whole point is that after a couple weeks, you can throw it away. Because if you have dogs pissing and shitting on grass constantly, it's going to start smelling. Do you want to hear poop? Does anybody want to hear a poop story?
Oh my God, what is it with you? Are you always, you mean like go to poop? How long have we been going? About 23 minutes?
Forget it. Forget it. No poop story.
I can't believe you buy grass from a different state. That's hilarious.
It's really
I didn't know
popular.
you could do that.
No. Like if, all right, imagine this. You wake up and then some guy shows up at your house and he's like, "Here, sir, I have your grass." And you grab it, put it on your balcony, cut the tape, pull it up, and all of a sudden now you have beautiful grass for your dogs to do their business on. They don't have to hold
let me
it.
tell you something.
They don't have
You
to hold
explained
it.
it. You explained it,
Versus
Brandon.
me driving to Home Depot saying, "Hello, sir, can I buy your best grass?" Having them cut it.
You use favor more than anyone I've ever met. Just favor some grass.
No.
Oh, fuck,
No.
you got fucked.
Yeah.
No.
Then you're
A,
supporting
that's
local
gonna
drivers.
cost me way
How do you
more.
know? Wait.
Two,
Why?
or B.
Don't they also have like those artificial turf specifically designed for this that you could keep on your balcony and reuse?
Yeah, we tried that. It smells because it doesn't soak up the urine. The urine just sits there, and you go out and like you want to vomit.
Just throw it
With
off the
this,
balcony.
it's like an inch and a half of
Yeah.
soil, which soaks it up.
You could you could get way more grass favoring it locally.
Yeah.
It's so much more expensive.
How?
And I'm not gonna get.
How?
Okay,
Have you?
no, all right.
Order some grass
Look,
right now.
look, we are going to do this. We are going to do this. I'm going to favor go to Home Depot, buy me grass, show up, bring it in a container in cardboard, and let's see how much that costs.
Okay.
And I love favor. Like yesterday for Valentine's Day, I used favor.
Favor your Valentine's Day. gift.
Yeah. So favor went.
I'm not gonna
to
go out
H-E-B.
and buy chocolates and flowers.
Favor went to H-E-B, and I was like, just show me what they got. I was like, you got a budget of $100. Let's see what they have. And they showed me this, sent pictures. And I was like, okay.
You let him
I was like,
choose?
get it
Oh my
all.
God.
And
What's
then he
the
went
romance?
and he took it to my wife's work and delivered it to her. Why is that weird? Okay.
Why wouldn't you
No,
just
no,
do
no.
it yourself?
You're telling me to use favor to get grass.
No one's telling you to do anything, Brandon. All right.
Look, you don't have a dog in an apartment. You have a house. You guys have houses with grass, right? Or what floor are you on? Ground floor?
Yes.
Well, we walk.
Yeah, I have to I have to go downstairs.
I don't like the dog to poop on the lawn. 'Cause that's where I do
Listen.
filming. So we just walk the dog.
Ultimately, this dog is going to get older, right? And once the dog's no longer a puppy, are you going to continue to buy this stuff? Because an older dog does not need to go outside that frequently.
Yeah, no, because we've had it for a while since we've had the pug. Because like, man, if it's like 1 in the morning or 2 in the morning and she's scratching at the door and it's 20 degrees outside, Come
That's
on.
like-
And she doesn't like it either. Pugs can die in cold weather or hot weather.
Well,
They are
anything,
very
not-
poorly
okay,
designed and
Brandon-
engineered.
But your pug's not gonna die taking it out to go pee.
No, but she doesn't like it.
I'm,
She does not like it.
you know, I'm kind of annoyed that the little patch of grass doesn't have a tiny fire hydrant attached to it.
Just in case there's a fire.
But like, I feel like dogs always want to pee on something. wanna
Yeah,
pee
and they
on,
love
like, a
peeing on the
tree.
grass. They love it.
Yeah.
As
Or an
soon as she
object
saw
in the
that
grass.
grass, she was like, I like it. I'm going to pee here. And now she goes to the balcony, not to the front door. And we still take them out a few times a day,
A few times. How often are you taking your fucking dog out?
3 times a day. And plus, we have a dog park.
He hires Favor to come walk it.
No,
So-
we have a dog park too in our apartment complex. So we go in, we throw the tennis ball. Our dogs have a good life. They just don't have to go outside to go pee.
I just think you're taking your dog out way too much. I think-
Houses used to have like outhouses, right? You didn't have indoor plumbing. You had to go in the outhouse, had to walk outside and do your business.
Mm-hmm.
But man, or women inventors, okay, invented indoor plumbing so you can do your business inside. Now, you don't think a dog would appreciate the same thing?
So
Especially a
put the-
puppy.
So in that case, just put the grass inside then.
No, because then it's going to smell like shit inside.
It's indoor plumbing, man. The dog's
Put
still
it-
having to go
put it
outside.
in.
Yeah, but
inside.
you don't have. Okay, I'm not going to design a room that just holds the grass. It's not like you have a toilet in the middle of your living room.
I want
Put
to
it in the
turf
bathroom.
an
I did
entire
it.
room of your apartment.
I did it with my cat when I had a cat.
Oh, I thought you had a toilet in the living room.
I built, or I didn't build, but I put its litter box inside of my bathroom cabinet and trained it to open the bathroom cabinet and go in.
Yeah,
So the
but what
smell
else do
would
you have
be-
in your
so-
bathroom cabinet?
Nothing, just litter box.
Seems like a waste.
What's it waste of?
I'm not shipping.
I don't have that space
from
either.
California.
Seems like a waste. That's a waste. That's a waste.
How is that any different than ordering anything else on Amazon that you can get locally here? Plus, I'm keeping this guy in business. He was on a Shark Tank, and it's like a whole new business
Oh,
for
never
him.
mind. It was on Shark Tank.
All I'm trying to say is, like, he told his story. He has a new family. He's trying to build something.
Everyone's got a
He's trying
family.
to pay-
Everyone's got that story. I
Yeah,
don't give a
but
fuck about
like,
that story.
You're not supporting
Everyone's
like a
got family.
conglomerate. You're supporting like this guy who, he's like Joe Armstrong, the guy, generic man, and he has a whole new business. You're supporting it. He's expanding it, and that's good. Like, you're supporting a small business. It makes sense for him.
we should.
It's
turf
good for FedEx. Good business for FedEx.
the big local business, FedEx.
Yeah. Supporting
Yeah.
those local businesses
I'm
like
just
Joe
saying,
Armstrong
it
in California
helps
and
many,
FedEx.
many people and businesses.
You could help just as many doing it local. And also, I think we should turf an entire room in your apartment.
I
We'll
would
have
be
a
helping.
fan. We'll blow the stink out the door.
So you think I should help Home Depot over a local or over a small business? Oh, you should see this guy.
Then
He's
go to a
very
local
handsome.
small garden place. Go to the Great Outdoors on South Congress.
The Great Outdoors. You can go buy grass there.
Yeah. You
don't
ever
know
been
that.
there?
Have you ever
I'm not
tried
gonna
to
do
buy
that.
grass?
I'm not gonna
Brandon?
do
See,
that.
I just defeated your argument,
No,
and now
no,
you're saying
you
you're not
need
going to do it.
Okay, you didn't defeat it. You just made a point that yes, I can go locally and support that business if
Order
I want.
some-
But that's a way bigger business.
All in
That is a
favor
way
of-
bigger business.
of-
This guy just runs this stuff. He has
What we
small
voting
amount
for?
of
I
employees.
I don't know. I don't care.
I'm in
I don't
favor.
care. We're just voting because Brandon lost.
You know what? You know what? I would say people who have a balcony, their dogs have
Three
to
to-
hold it for longer. Right now my balcony door
3
is
out of
open,
4,
and
you
my
lost.
dogs, even as I'm away, can go and do their business as
Wait,
they
you
please.
leave your door open?
My balcony door open. Yeah, I'm on like the 3rd floor. Was that
You-
fucking Spider-Man gonna come in and steal my
Well, I
shit?
mean,
No,
like,
I'm
all
gonna
your
put it up.
AC is going to leak out the door
Yeah.
and be inefficient in that.
No, it's cracked, and plus it's not super hot outside, not super cold.
Bugs don't come in.
No, we have like another thing I got on Amazon, a like mesh
business.
cover for the door. So it keeps the bugs out, and the dogs go right through it. This
wait.
is a system.
So
that
it's
is
big
very
enough to let a
finely
dog through,
tuned.
but small enough for bugs not to come through.
Here, let me send some.
It's just in the shape of a dog. Bugs can't fit
No.
through it because they're not the right shape.
Who do I slack? Who do I slack to get some?
Send it to a broadcast.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, you left that channel. I remember. Send it to Patrick.
That is the funny thing about Slack. It tells you whenever someone
Yeah.
leaves. It's like, and it's like you have to time when you leave channels to like an appropriate thing. You can't do it after someone is talking about something.
Yeah. I keep wanting to leave the Sydney organization one, but Ashley posted something earlier today in there about looking for people to talk about something. So it's like I didn't want to leave after she posted that because I didn't want her to think that I
like-
was leaving because of what
Yeah,
she
yeah.
said. So now it's like, oh shit, I gotta wait longer to leave the channel. I'm gonna leave the channel, and it's not because of what you posted. Okay, I'm leaving it right now before someone else posts something. How do we leave a channel? Leave. All right.
So how much?
Here, I'm gonna read this.
How much does it cost? Yeah, okay, read that.
Want to remind everyone, this episode of the podcast is brought to you by Between Books right now. So if you have a suggestion for me, send it to me. I'll download it and I'll give it a listen.
You know, I hear 1984 is started to become like way more popular.
I haven't read 1984 since high school. Maybe I will re-listen to that. Yeah, I'll get that.
Yeah, it's
For
good.
me, it's all about who reads it.
Oh, right. They mean like the voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for the Game of Thrones ones, we talk about all the time. They have Roy Dotrice, who's pretty good.
The Harry Potter one's really good.
Oh, really?
Who reads them?
I don't know, but he does good Hermione.
Good segue. The voices are really important. Who reads it? I don't know. Were you gonna say something? Did you have something?
I was going to ask how much it would cost to favor some sizable turf.
I bet we could get some turf right now.
We
I still don't understand how getting turf.
I don't want to get back
Is-
into the argument.
Yeah, we're
I-
done. We're done.
Different-
Let's-
No, no,
I
no.
wanna see
Okay,
how
what about
much
the
it would-
Valentine's? All right,
okay,
fine.
hey, that was weird. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Why didn't you just go get the stuff?
Busy?
Yeah, it was work.
When you
And
get
plus,
it the
it's
night-
nicer. I think it's nicer if like
Why don't you get the
someone
night
shows
before?
up and like all of this stuff comes in, and everybody's like, "Oh, who's this for?" And it's like, "Oh, it's for Paula."
Yeah, but if you didn't choose any of it, and you
I
just used-
did. They sent me pictures, and I was like, "I want that, and that."
What do you think that
And I was
favor
like, "You
guy
know,
thought
get
of
that
you?
all."
What do you think that favor guy thought of you?
I think he was happy to have my business. Plus, it was like $100, so he had a good tip percentage of that. I've used Favor for some really weird
I
stuff.
went-
I've actually had Favor go to a Home Depot and buy like 10 industrial box fans. You remember when we filmed the Back to School short? Like I actually use it for work way more.
When last night I went to there's a convenience store kind of close to Stage 5 here. It's, people refer to it as the Flag Store. I don't know if y'all ever been there. It's over like at Duval and 45th. So I stopped by the Flag Store yesterday.
It's because it's got flags all over it.
It's got flags all around it, yeah. And I was in there, and there was a woman who was like going through all of the cards. They have like a selection of cards. Like she was trying to buy like a Valentine's card. Like she was like carefully examining all of them. I was like, today is Valentine's Day. Like who waits until that moment to like then start working on it? It's kind of the same thing with you, Brandon. Like why didn't you do it like if you were busy, do it the night before or plan it ahead of
I
time?
don't know. We had stuff, or I mean, I think I like this plan. I've done it before. It's a good plan. It makes sense.
I mean, to be fair, Valentine's Day is a load of crap. Anyway.
Valentine's Day is a load of crap.
It's a load of toss.
Probably get cut. What's the difference with hiring a company to deliver, flowers or anything else?
Because you pick all that stuff online. Like there's our services specifically for
Here,
that.
I'm sending.
Yeah, it's not
Patrick,
like-
I'm sending you some stuff for this conversation.
It's not like go to this store and go nuts. You
Right, it's
actually
not like-
pick the
No,
pictures.
Here's a
that's not what I said.
Express $100 worth of love, please.
No, it's not what I said. It's not what
Try
I
and get
said.
the most love
Well,
out
it's
of the
kind of
$100.
like
Nope.
it's kind of like you always see like in like Mad Men type stuff where it's like you give your secretary money, it's like pick her out something nice.
Right,
No,
it's
no.
like kind of like that.
That's yeah. I can totally see that.
And then
No.
you're like, what'd you get her? And he's like, you find out whenever she shows up with it, and it's like,
Right.
thank
You know
you
what?
so
No,
much.
it's
know
not
what's
the
annoying
same thing at all.
Is that whenever I like to get flowers for Turney, all of the nicest looking ones have lilies and stuff all through them, but they will kill cats. And I
Oh,
don't
really?
realize. Yeah. Well, there's some like I don't know if it's all lilies or some orchid type. I don't know. But apparently, if cats get the pollen in them, they die.
Really?
Do you think anyone's ever purposefully poisoned their girlfriend's cats with flowers?
On purpose?
Yeah, been like, this is gonna take
don't
out
know.
those annoying
I'm-
cats.
I can
I'm
see
sure
it.
it's
Some
happened.
cats are assholes.
I was gonna say some people are assholes.
You heard me.
Jeez.
I would never do it. I'm just saying if somebody is a bad person and
You just
You know.
No,
poison
you
it with
said you
lube.
put it on the cats. Don't try to say if someone's
No,
a bad
no, no,
person.
no, no.
You're
I
totally
like-
cat shaming here.
well, I'm just saying like there has to be a reason somebody would do that, and cats can be
Well,
very
someone-
aggressive, mean. They can attack you.
Yeah, also, but I would never poison a cat.
I wouldn't either. I'm just saying I
You're
understand.
just saying cats are assholes. Is what
And
you
they
said.
deserve to be poisoned.
No, you guys are just taking. No, all I'm saying is we're saying like people poison cats. What could be a possible motivation?
I think that's the next purple
We
shirt.
didn't say people poison cats. Cats are assholes. It could be on the back.
I would take it. I haven't had a shirt in like 7 years.
What does that mean? You haven't had what?
No Brandon themed shirt.
Oh, I see.
Cole bought one of my shirts, my only shirt.
The one from the comic?
Yeah.
So why didn't you like your cat as much as you like your dogs?
Cats are more independent and they're not as affectionate.
You want affection.
Like the dog appreciates you, right? Like the dog's like, "Oh, you're the best."
I feel like you're a person who wouldn't need affection or validation.
I mean, it's not like the dog is constantly loving me, but it's like I feed the dog and it's like, "Thanks." You know, it appreciates it. The cat, like you feed a cat and the cat's like, "Fuck you. I don't eat this."
And that's why you didn't like a cat?
Yeah, it's like, but I like a cat because you can leave them alone. Like
Yeah.
if you have to go out of town for a couple of days, you can get like an automatic feeder. I used to have a litter box that would clean itself, which was really handy. And the cat's fine. Cat doesn't give a fuck about you. The dog is like, the dog will miss you. The dog's happy to see you. You're like, hey, what's up? Like I love it. Like I'll come home when I park my car. I've got like a really low window so that you can see where I park my car from. And I park my car, and every time I come out, like I look to that window, and both the dogs are there, just like looking at me, like staring. Like,
Yeah.
it's like it's an appreciation.
The University of Texas, for some reason, spent a lot of money on a research study about dog personalities, and they concluded that if you get a dog as a puppy, they actually adapt to your personality too.
Mm-hmm.
So you have things around you that kind of augment you, and they're not kids that become assholes.
I believe that because I think lots of times when people have dogs that are like really yappy, I think it's a reflection of their personality. Like they either didn't raise the dog a certain way, or they never disciplined it whenever it does that. Because like I've got little dogs. People always think like little dogs are yappy assholes, but my dogs never bark. Like unless like if someone knocks at the door, if they know someone's at the door, then they'll like go crazy. But even if they hear another dog barking or they see someone, nope, no, none of that.
The pug only barks at other dogs when she's on the leash, and she like nothing could happen to her.
Does she try to start fights?
Yeah, she's like, it's kind of like when you have bros and there's a guy like, come at me, and he knows his bros are gonna hold him back. So she's on the balcony and she sees another dog where she's on the leash. She barks at it, but if she's not and she's standing next to a dog, she's like super apprehensive. I mean, and too much so. She got bitten a couple months ago. I think I talked about it on the podcast. But so we do have pictures that I sent Patrick. So I asked Faber, go there, send me pictures of what they have. And they sent me pictures. So if we can see those pictures, and he showed, I was like, look for something that has up to a dozen roses, maybe 2 dozen, and other flowers. So he's like, oh, how about this? And I was like, yes. And then he also sent me, I was like, well, what about balloons? You have some balloons? So he showed me the balloons. And I was like, yeah, that looks awesome. I was like, as many balloons as you can get, a ridiculous amount of balloons.
Can we cut that? Can we come back to that? Is that possible? That is a ridiculous amount of balloons to you?
That's 6
That
balloons,
looks
Brandon.
like the end of a day-long balloon sale.
That's like all the balloons are gone, and this is all that's left.
Well, I mean, when people buy balloons, they buy 2 or 3.
Of balloons, 6.
That's a decent amount. That's what I told him.
You said a
and he came with
ridiculous
that.
amount.
And it's not just the number.
If you
There's
can
a
tell-
little bear. There is a bear that is trapped in a balloon with a little heart that says, "I'll be your Valentine," maybe kind of implying, for the love of God, let me
Out.
out.
That's kind of weird, dude.
There's some fast
It's
work
like
there.
someone like trapped pedo bear.
So
Love is
let me say something here that I'm thinking about. Now that I see the photos that this favor person sent you, I would be pissed if that was me. If I was that favor delivery
That's
person,
what I
I'd be
said.
like, motherfucker, normally I just get a list of like 5 things to buy. Now I gotta go and like send photos and wait
Yeah.
for approval. Like I'm gonna be doing this forever.
Is that part of their service? They you can interact and have them do random stuff.
Yeah, and usually they'll send you pictures for random tasks. I
So
mean,
could
they're
you,
happy to have business, especially I could have been like, "Hey, go to this restaurant and buy me something that costs $25." But no, I was like, I wanted a good amount of things for Valentine's, so it was $100. So percentage of that, he got a good tip. It was a good use of his time. It was a good favor. After that, he's probably like, "Man, this is a good start to the day. Good things are gonna happen to me."
Could you go on Favor and be like, go into the bank,
I would
take a picture of the security guard's belt, and send it to me? Is that a favor?
No,
Why?
they would not do that. They'd probably report it.
All right.
They have a way to report it and see something weird.
Man, I got fucking pissed off at favor
I
a
wonder
couple
if
weeks
you could-
ago.
Get 2 favors to meet each other and take a picture of each other. Both go here. The other favor guy took a picture of him and sent it to him.
Well, there's that website. Was it Fiverr, where you can like pay people to do weird things like that?
I think TaskRabbit is like that. Like you don't actually have to have them go buy something. Favor, they have to purchase something.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking up Fiverr. Yeah. So. Yeah, you just like do something,
Fiverr.
and you can have people do whatever.
Oh, weird.
So
There's a video to be made somewhere there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people
That-
ask them to come in and do their laundry. Like
that's
fold
that's
their
how
clothes.
that's the website PewDiePie used that got him in trouble.
Never mind. It's
Yeah.
bad news.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, Favor was pissing me off a couple weeks ago because Favor has some of their delivery people are on bikes. I don't know, have you ever had a Favor delivered on a bike?
No.
I have before, but I was trying to order some dinner a couple weeks ago, and I went through and fucking put all the shit in, ordered it, got accepted, then was immediately canceled. I was like, the fuck? Is the restaurant closed? So I called the restaurant. They're like, no, we're open. I was like, all right, let me do it again. So I can't like reorder it because they canceled my order. So like I have to go through, put everything back in again, hit submit. Then the same dude accepts it again. I was like, uh-oh.
Fucker.
And then he canceled it again. Like, what the fuck? What's going on? So it's like, you can like text Favor, like the company, not the runner. I was like, I text the company like, hey, what's going on? Why is this being canceled? And they didn't reply for like 5 minutes. It's like, oh, fuck it, I'll just use Postmates. So he's Postmates. But then Favor eventually got back to me. They're like, oh, that was the person who was canceling your order. He was on a bike and you were too far away. I was like, well, why the fuck is he accepting it?
Yeah, why would you accept him? Maybe they're desperate for drivers.
I don't know.
What
Maybe
the
they
hell
can't
could he
see
possibly
What it
do?
is before they accept it.
Then why is he
Well,
doing
yeah,
it on a
he
bike?
should-
Like, what if he got
yeah.
one in Round Rock? I mean,
He should be able to see, how far. I don't know. That's annoying. That's really annoying because I hate doing that.
Yeah.
Like going through the little online menu.
yeah, it's like it's annoying, and you have to add like notes, like this one I wanted beef on this, I wanted this side. It's like
You know-
motherfucker.
As someone who
Connect-
grew up in a town where none of these services exist to this day, we must sound like the most lazy,
It's like ordering
complaining
delivery,
first world
yeah.
assholes. That
You're right.
Kirby Lane actually started giving little notes whenever they have a courier come in that says, look, if you don't have something in your food, it's not our fault. It's probably something was lost in delivery because we get a lot of complaints. And it's like when the Favor or whoever gets there and reads that, it's kind of like, it's kind of awkward. It's kind of like,
Well, then they got to check it there when they receive it.
Well, they got
Yeah.
favor dudes just eating pieces of the food and then delivering it.
well, sometimes you're like, where's my bread? What happened to my bread?
Aaron,
Loves the
we
crumbs
were
around his face.
working, ordered lunch in, and he ordered a beef sandwich from Jason's Deli.
beef sandwich.
Yeah, I don't know. And the default, and
What's
it
funny
shows
about
up. It shows up
Like, I've never heard someone describe it as a beef sandwich.
I don't
Sorry,
know,
go
it's-
ahead.
roast beef sandwich.
Okay, roast. Okay, gotcha. I was just picturing like a steak between bread or I don't know.
I
Okay.
mean, that's the
It's
thing,
like-
though.
Yeah, that's a steak sandwich though. That's not a beef sandwich.
Sorry,
I had a cow
roast
sandwich.
beef.
Okay.
Being more specific, and it shows up, and it's just a bucket of meat.
What?
And he was like, "What?" And so it's just like a tub, like a little soup tub, and just a ball of meat. And then he's like, "Why? What's going on?" And their default setting for a roast beef sandwich was without bread. Like why? Like that's the default. If you try to order a roast beef sandwich from Jason's Deli, it's just
don't think-
there's
I
no
don't
bread.
believe it.
I
I,
don't think they
I
know
took a
that.
picture of it.
I don't think they know what a sandwich is. What
I
was
know.
it between?
It's probably like you probably have to pick the kind of bread you want, and by default, it's
There
set
is
to
no
nothing,
bread.
and then you have to go through and select it. I bet that's what happens.
Yeah,
that's
that's how
exactly what it is.
Chipotle is. Like
The
you order
favor
the
guy
app.
didn't think, oh, this guy's gonna be pissed. He just delivered.
It
the
was
meat
someone who
bucket.
worked. It was a delivery. It was Jason's Deli. They deliver, so it was
Oh,
their
okay.
delivery guy.
Maybe they saw the delivery person. They're like, yeah, this person could.
Do you have a
few
picture of it?
carbs.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, it's on Twitter or something. I'll send it
Do
out.
you ever see like that makes me think? Do you remember that old images from the guy who ordered a pizza online and he ordered none pizza left beef? Does that sound familiar at all?
Mm-mm.
So he went through and it's like I think he ordered it from Domino's and went like through all of the different selections and hit none. And then for beef, like he wanted beef on the pizza, he hit beef, but only on the left side. So Domino's made the pizza as a none pizza left beef. And he basically just got bread with like some meatballs rolling around. So it's the same kind of thing where it's like
Is that what he wanted?
yeah, that's what he wanted. He just wanted to see what would happen if he ordered no pizza left beef. Like not even sauce or anything. It's just crust with like some meatballs rolling around.
So are we allowed to repeat
Someone had to
something
make
we
that.
mentioned like 6 years ago?
There it is, none pizza left beef. Sure, why
Are
not?
people gonna revolt? So we talked a lot about Rosie, the guy who in
yeah.
the wheelchair outside, a homeless guy outside of a wheelchair at the old office. And I remember he got some cash and he went into, I think, a Jimmy John's, and he ordered a sandwich without bread, just ham and tuna on top, like he was a dolphin. That's not interesting anymore. Well, cut that out.
Wait.
How is that in any?
Because I feel bad for him. He was like,
Weren't you the one that said he owed you a leg?
Yeah, he does owe me a leg, but that's a sad story.
How's that any? That is not nearly as sad as a guy you're upset about not getting his other leg amputated.
Because he lied. He said he was going to.
Yeah, granted, that is his bad, but still, looking at it as a whole.
If I said I was having my leg amputated tomorrow, and then you saw me next week and I still had it, you'd be like, hey, what the fuck?
I would,
Especially
but
if
I
you're
also
like,
don't
hey,
think it's
can
a
you
bad
help
deal.
me
To
out?
Yeah.
Can you help me out? I need help removing my leg, and you help the person out, and then they're like, never mind. I decided to keep it.
Look, no, I agree with that. All I'm saying is it's not any worse for the turkey.
Yeah, I'm just
tuna.
giving you a hard time.
I mean, okay.
I love how frustrated you get. There's something special about that Brandon level of frustration.
Brandon, are you an angry person in general?
No, I'm really not, except when I'm in the car and I'm trying to dictate to Siri and I'm like talking and she interrupts me because she detects like a quarter of a second
Yeah.
pause and then like I start screaming. That's the only anger. I don't have the anger driving, dealing with other drivers. It's getting cut off. by
Your
Siri.
texts, Brandon, when you send them via Siri, are insane.
Yeah.
They sound like they're like stream of consciousness, and I'll get this like huge text from, and I'll be like, "What's wrong with Brandon?"
I try to at the end say dictated by Siri. I wish you could do that automatically
'Cause
or
it-
poorly dictated by
it's
Siri.
just
Or
like-
there should be like an icon that, like next to it. Like when you receive a message like that, you should have like a little microphone or something to indicate it.
I
it makes you look insane.
I very publicly hate Cortana for Xbox.
Mhm.
It's the worst. And I know you can turn it off. I have it turned off. But sometimes I see if it's any better, I turn it back on. The other day I turned it back on. I was like, maybe it's good now. Maybe they patched it a few times. I said, hey, Cortana, sign in as Gavin. And it was like, bloop. And it does a thing where it's just doing nothing. It's just pulsing. And I'm like, okay, has it listened to what I said yet? And I was just waiting. And then it goes, sign in as Gavin. And then it went, bloop, 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 like it was loading that
Yeah.
to the internet. It then changed the text to say, sign in as Kevin. Even though before it said Gavin, it flipped to Kevin and then said, who do you want to sign in as? I was like, great. Who like, that's public, though. Like, they want
That's
people to
really
be
funny.
using this.
Yeah.
It's so shit.
Yeah,
I
don't
still think
use
that
it at all.
technology is ever going to get that much better.
Like
And honestly, that probably took like 25 seconds total. And before, with Xbox, you say Xbox sign in as Gavin. Does nothing with the internet. It's just local to
goes.
your Xbox, and it's just
do you have
in
a-
like 1 second.
Do you have an Amazon Echo in your house? Does it ever randomly say stuff if you're watching TV?
Yeah, I
And
was
you're just
watching,
like, shut.
I was watching Heat last night, and it started chatting. But it also, then you can go into the app, and you can look at what it thought you said.
Oh, really?
It will say, "Hey Alexa," and then a bunch of shit. But it was like, "Hey Alexa," and then a bunch of crap that Al Pacino said.
that would be annoying if there's someone named that in the movie.
Yeah, I've not had that yet. It hears Alexa when you don't say it.
Oh, I changed the name to Echo. Alexa's stupid. I don't want to say that.
What was I gonna say? Oh, I have an annoying thing. Like I struggle with Siri in my car. Like I can use it fine. Like you said, it's a piece of shit or whatever. But in my car, it's especially frustrating because I'll say like the command to trigger it, and I don't know how other cars work, but my car treats when I do that like a phone call. So then it like there's a weird pause for a couple of seconds while it like brings up the phone. So then it's like I can say the command to bring it up, then I have to wait. But if I wait too long, then it ends. And then it ends the call, and then I have to say it again. So it's like there's like a really narrow window of when I can say it, and then I always mess it up. So like, fuck it, I'm not using it.
Yeah, if you really want to use it that much, you need the Apple CarPlay
Oh,
software.
but it's all. Have you ever used it? It sucks.
Yeah, I bought a really shitty third-party device that kind of uses it just out of desperation. Also, my old stereo broke, and they refused to pay for it. Fuck, I don't want to tell the story again because last time I told it, everybody fucking destroyed me about it.
Who
I'm sure it'll be better this time.
It was in the middle of summer. It was the middle of summer, and I accidentally left a can of Coke in my car.
Oh.
Just sometimes you just forget shit. And when I came
never do,
back,
but okay.
fair enough. I came back, and the Coke had exploded everywhere. So because the buttons were sticky, they wouldn't fix the
Who's they?
the manufacturer.
Oh, okay.
They wouldn't fix the drive that houses the maps, because the maps are in your navigation unit are done by the by a CD, even though it was protected behind a like a little display. And it's like one of those moments where you're just like, you fuckers. And I wish. I should have tweeted at them. That's the only way to like make companies responsible for shit is tweet
Publicly
at them.
shaming them?
Yeah.
Yeah, but other people don't want to read that shit.
Yeah. you're
Well, you
bringing
reply
everyone
at
else
it.
in.
No one's gonna see it. Like they don't, since you reply directly to that company.
Yeah, I feel like whenever you deal with that, you're just dealing with like some customer service person who can't really help you most of the time.
I
Yeah,
also
but
don't-
the people who monitor Twitter, that they can. Like
they'll
they're
they'll
better
acknowledge that
connected.
you said something.
There's also no satisfaction in being like, hey, I'm having this problem, and then they rush to fix it because you're saying it publicly.
Yeah.
It's like everyone else still has to deal with problems the normal way.
Right.
Like I will always just like go through normal customer service to try and get a problem fixed.
I'll do that first. And I went to the dealer, then I went to the manufacturer, and like they just do their best to deflect you somewhere else. So it's like a measure of last resort. We a bunch of us were going to Vegas a few years ago, and something happened, and we had to cancel our flight. And we tried to get the airline to like refund us the money. And we're like, hey, this thing happened. It was a bit unexpected. It was a bit, unfortunate. And we thought it was very reasonable. And they refused to refund us. Not even like give us a voucher towards anything else.
Well, I mean,
Oh, you didn't get-
refundable tickets are more expensive.
Right. But they wouldn't even give you like the equivalent credit.
No, I don't think so. It's a very shitty airline.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
think-
the worst airline in the world. It takes 45 minutes to get to their customer service. And so all of us started tweeting at it. And they just, props to them, actually, they didn't budge.
What was the airline?
You can say it. Fuck them.
It was Allegiant. They're the worst airline. There was an anonymous poll from their pilots that said their pilots won't let their families fly on it because they don't spend enough money on fixing the damn plane. They have the worst customer service,
Wow.
but they're cheap. I
know,
mean, you
no.
remember all of this.
Yeah, I never flown that.
I
But I mean, a lot of airlines won't refund if it's too close to the flight date. And
I mean,
That's not
this
that good.
was, unfortunately, this was after, Monty passed.
that
So-
was the reason you couldn't go.
Yeah, it was bereavement, which
Yeah,
we
yeah.
felt like might be a little bit different because I think it was like almost $3,000 because it was 12 of us going. So we thought they might make, an exception under those circumstances.
There was a story I read about a year ago. I'm looking for it, and I think I just found it, where there was an airline mechanic who worked at, I'm trying to see where he used to work. I think he worked at American Airlines for 20 years. I don't see where he used to work, but he worked as a mechanic for 20 years. He took a job working at Allegiant and then quit after 2 weeks because he said that was too dangerous.
Wow.
I mean, Gus, you watch air disasters
Oh, yeah.
as well. A lot of the times causes for problems if it's in air aren't manufacturing, they're just bad maintenance.
Yep.
And when you hire or like have makeshift maintenance.
A lot of I've been worried about that. I don't remember the exact statistic off the top of my head, so I'm going to do my best here. But there was there's a big move in the airline industry for airlines to no longer do maintenance in the United States.
What?
Yeah, they'll outsource the maintenance to South America.
That sounds like a horrible idea.
So they fly all their planes there?
Yeah, because it's cheaper to do it down
You
there.
still need maintenance. You still need like last minute runway maintenance.
Yeah, they'll still have some maintenance here, but like the regular, like every, there's like milestones. Every so many hours flown, certain parts need to be inspected, certain parts need to be replaced, and they just are outsourcing a lot of that out of the United States because it's cheaper.
Every airline?
Oh yeah, almost all of them.
Man, then maybe I don't have a problem with that.
I feel like
You have a problem with that?
American Airlines can't really do that with their name.
Oh no, they absolutely. They're like the leading.
I guess it's still South America.
Yeah.
I'd rather them do that than have to make budget cuts on maintenance because they can't.
That
afford
is a
it to do
budget
it
cut
here.
in maintenance.
Right, but I mean, I'm
Yeah.
saying they
rather
can
have
keep the
that
same
than no
level of
maintenance.
maintenance and still get that discount, as opposed to saying, all right, now we have to make budget cuts of maintenance here in the U.S. We need less people to work on it. My priority here is the plane.
I found it here. It was a Vanity Fair article from 2 years ago. I'll just read the top headline. The disturbing truth about how airplanes are maintained today. In the last decade, most of the big U.S. airlines have shifted major maintenance work to places like El Salvador, Mexico, and China, where few mechanics are FAA certified and inspections have no teeth.
Oh, what's
that's a little
what are
scary.
they? How are they qualifying that? Because I mean, the implication here is foreigners don't know how to fix planes.
They don't have FAA certification. The FAA.
They might have some other certification. It doesn't mean they don't know what they're doing.
I trust the FAA certifications. I feel like the United States has some of the safest air travel in the world.
I agree. I think there are times they will not act when they should because they're dealing with billion-dollar corporations, especially with Allegiant. What happened like a year and a half ago where they had like a bunch of incidents in Florida all after one another. And you've seen it too with other airlines. They found problems in their planes and they haven't fixed it.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question. This is a completely different thing. I was thinking about this the other day. When you die,
Is it because of planes crashing
no,
that you
no,
thought
no.
of dying?
Can you put? Okay, could you put in your will a really, really bizarre funeral type thing, and then specify that it has to be followed to the T, or your will or your any inheritance you have does not go to your children
Yeah,
or
you
whoever?
could probably do that.
Like it.
And then it puts the onus on them because they have to execute it in order to get.
Exact. Yeah.
Inheritance.
But then who are you saying who regulates it
Yeah,
though?
or could
Who
you do that?
monitors
Like,
it?
and then I'm talking about like weird, bizarre, like okay.
And
My
then the
thought-
lawyer has to go down a checklist and see like
Yeah.
30 clowns.
Well,
Yep.
Who's there to
Well,
like check his check?
That's what, and that's what I was wondering. It's like, what if I was like, because I was thinking like how I wanted to be. I was like, I don't want to be buried or anything. It's like I want to get blown up or something. You know, like I want to. Like, and I was like, but then I was like, who's gonna control that? Like if I request like to be blown up,
It might be.
but I would also pay for it. Like if I was like I had already arranged it, but I was like, in order to get my inheritance,
Your family would want you blown up though.
yeah, no,
That's
but
why I'm not
but-
gonna get blown up.
Well, who are you leaving the
wait,
money
what?
to?
Well, I wanted to be blown up for a movie, like just propped up on a spike and exploded. in
That's what
slow
I was.
motion.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like a big stick.
But then my family would see it and it'd be gross.
Yeah, but it'd be funny.
Well,
Well-
awesome, yeah. But
Yeah.
Who are you leaving your money to?
I don't know. I don't have any kids yet, so but maybe like I don't know.
I've just come up
Whoever.
with a good
But,
way.
no. But that's the key though, right?
Yeah.
Who are you leaving it to? And then if they don't follow your will, who will the money go to?
It would go to like someone else. It would go to someone else, or maybe the government.
Not a charity. Not a charity.
Or I don't
Where
know,
would
or
nobody
something.
want the money to go? The government.
Well, because
That's the point, though. It's who you're giving
if
it
it
to.
was going to go to a charity, they'd be more likely to not blow me up because it'd be like, well, I don't want to blow them
No.
up because it's going to a good cause.
What I'm saying though, there needs to be a threat. Like, if you don't do this, I'm going to give my money to someone
Yeah,
else. Like,
exactly.
it's going to
That's
go
what
to all
I'm
my
saying.
money's going to go to my
That's why
dog.
you should give it
Either
to
blow
white-
me up or blow my money up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the way to
Oh.
do it.
Or just say it'll go to like white supremacists or something.
Oh,
And then they really wouldn't want it to go to them.
Oh,
So
man.
now you've given me a good idea for what I want to happen, right?
okay.
Okay, all my money, put it in ones, so it's like big and cash, right? So you get like you know the blocks in Fifth Element, that sort of size, but then put them in my body, like in Fifth Element. So you have to cut open my stomach and pull out. the money. Like each person has to pull out their own block.
Their own
Okay.
inheritance.
Yeah.
It has to be
From my-
extracted
They
from
get
my
you.
gut.
They get to play Surgeon Simulator.
Yeah.
Here, let me read this. Reminder, everyone, this episode of Rooster Teeth podcast is brought to you by. I'm going to go back to something you said a second ago. You said the money would go to white supremacists. And it made me think, there's this television series on the Viceland network that was really distracting for some reason. It scared me. There's this television show on Viceland called Hate Thy Neighbor, where this comedian goes and talks to like different hate groups and like tries to understand what their point is. And the first episode, I think you watch it on YouTube actually. The first episode, he goes and talks to Nazis in Pennsylvania. And like it's really in depth. And then he goes and like to a KKK bar. Like anyway, there's a whole like he's just dealing with white supremacists the whole time.
And they're actually talking legitimately about their beliefs.
Yeah,
Like, do you
and-
ever sympathize with them in any way?
I mean,
Watching them.
he's listening. Like he's trying to be a very passive observer, and offering some counterpoints, but really he's letting them talk. And at one point, one of them goes on this rant about how people from Africa are monkeys and people from Asia are cats. And he like makes the weirdest analogy of like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Like,
Well,
So what are white people then? Animal-wise?
he didn't get into that. I was curious. I was hoping he would get into that. I think in his mind, white people are the only people.
Well, the comment about Africa, that's, an unfortunate, people have been saying that for a long time. It's very ugly. I've never heard, though, the Asian thing.
Yeah, I think
cats is
I'm
Asians.
trying to
Like, that's like, that to me, that's just more confusing.
I think the analogy he made was that Asian people like to jump around like cats, and cats' eyes are slanted like Asian people, and Asian people eat fish, and cats like fish.
Yeah, but would they be offended about that? Like, if you went to an Asian person and you were like, meow, and you ran away, would they be offended, or would they?
They probably wouldn't be offended because they wouldn't know what's going
Yeah,
on
they
because
wouldn't
nobody
know.
has ever said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so bizarre. It's really interesting. If you get a chance, you should absolutely watch it. Like I said, I think the first episode's on their YouTube channel, and you can watch it.
It might have been one of those things he was trying to make something up on the spot.
I don't know, man.
I mean, I don't know.
He's like-
if you're in a group about it, then you probably have thought about it at some. I don't know. Who Pennsylvania has Nazis?
Yeah, and the guy has like a huge
Everywhere has
swastika flag like flying over his house, and they you should watch it. It's really, really interesting.
You know what's
People are insane.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You know what's crazy
was-
is you can probably go to a flag shop. I know there's at least one in Austin, and they have flags of the world or whatever. But in the back, they'll usually have a Confederate flag and a Nazi flag that you have to ask for.
Like, and you know this because we've had to buy them.
Yeah, I know
Yeah,
because
for
we've had to
props.
buy them before, and it's like
man.
I get it. The economy was struggling back then.
I will also say I should clarify. Technically, they're not Nazis. They're members of the National Socialist Movement or whatever. But
That's the
they're-
party of Nazis.
They're just Nazis, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys watch John Oliver?
Yeah.
He's amazing. Like, I think he's the best.
Really good. Love that
yeah.
show. I was upset that it was gone for so long. I'm happy it's back.
Yeah,
Why was
he
he gone
came
so
back with
They
a.
go on break.
Over the presidency change?
Yeah, their last episode I think was right after the election, and then they've been gone ever since then.
Yeah, it was the week after an election, and he did a great video like a fuck you to 2016.
Yeah.
Anyway, he kind of owned this moment and showed this clip from his show. It must have been when it first started. And it was him hearing that Donald Trump wanted to run for the president. And I think at the time everybody thought he was just kind of doing that to kind of get more money for The Apprentice. And he said, "Fucking do it. You run for president."
I think he did that on the Daily Show.
Was it
I
The
remember
Daily
that
Show?
clip, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense because it was probably I forget
It
when
was a
the
long
show
time ago,
started.
yeah.
Someone found a clip from one of our podcasts in 2012 where apparently I just went off on a rant about Donald Trump and how he's such a lying piece of shit about everything.
Really?
Like 4 or 5 years ago. It's funny. I don't remember saying any of that stuff, but I obviously clearly had strong opinions about Trump back then.
That's what Oliver's episode back was all about. It was
Yeah.
just about the idea of truth, like really trying to simplify it and say there are certain things that are objectively true that for whatever reason people aren't accepting. It's great.
Yeah, I was saying how he will just make up stats and
Yeah.
quote them to people, and then that will get quoted, and then that becomes the truth. And it's just like,
And
he's just lying.
It'll
That was
become
a
the
huge
truth.
part of that John Oliver
Yeah.
episode. Is that if you make a lie and then people report the lie and then you see the reports, like it becomes
Yeah,
validated.
to the point where in interviews he's saying, "Look, people agree with me." It's like, yeah, but you made it up.
Yeah. Like I think the clip they showed is when he was talking about the unemployment rate, and they're like, people say it's 4%, but I've heard it's 6%, 8%, maybe up to 47%. And Oliver did this cool thing where he will identify the date and time of a certain tweet that Trump makes of a fact, and then he will find a report from who knows where, another person on Twitter or a website, a fake news website, and it's like he just immediately reads something, and if he agrees with it, he puts it out there and
Yeah.
promotes it.
Yep, it's an interesting time where we have to like really vet our news and vet like, is this real? Is this credible?
2017 is the year of politics, technology that doesn't work, and fake news.
Oh, people
It
die.
sucks. And we thought 2016 was bad. Bernie actually talked about that on the
Yeah.
last podcast. But yeah, 2017.
What do you remember about 2015? I feel like I don't remember
I
anything
feel
about it.
it was pretty like
It was just a bog standard filler year.
yeah. I mean, it was a good year.
Was it?
I don't know.
I
More celebrities were alive.
don't
that was good.
remember 2015.
I
Hey,
can't
Did
tell
it
you-
happen?
Hey, I have
Did
a
we
qu-
skip it?
I
have a
remember
question.
being in 2015, but I can't tell you anything that happened.
Do you think are like celebrities? You know how like they're like, oh, 2016 was back because a lot of celebrities died. But do you think more celebrities were like created like, is our ratio of celebrities to deaths going up? I would think so,
Well,
right?
yeah, I don't know if we were talking about that, but I think, the number of celebrities, for the most part, people who die are a little bit older. There are some accidents or whatever, but the number of people who found celebrity status, many, many years ago, decades ago, is, like you said, a lot smaller. Whereas now with the internet, the people who you would say is a celebrity or who would be reported on is so much wider. So in 40 years, we're going to have years where it's like, the Oscar tribute is going to be like 20 minutes long.
I think people saw 2016 is bad because a lot of people you could consider legends died. Like, not just the occasional famous person. It was like, damn, that person was famous.
But how many other legends do you think? I guess we'll.
I guess I would say, yeah,
Are you
are
worried
there-
about the Queen? I
I'm
had to make
always
physical
worried about the
contact with
Queen.
your leg just because
Yeah.
I don't know if this is sensitive.
I'll be devastated when the Queen dies.
She's been around a long time.
She's been good. She has her own show on Netflix.
And she's just so chill, too. Like, she's like, yeah, I'm the longest reigning. That happens to people who live a long time.
Yeah.
Let's not make this about me.
I think when you're, when you get old, like, you just don't give a fuck anymore. It's like,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, whatever.
Do you think Charles is like upset or kind of wish she would have died a while ago? Because he
It's
set
a
the
very
record.
common question. I don't think so.
He set the record for longest, person who's had to wait the longest to become king.
Well, that's what happens when you have the longest
Yeah.
monarch.
All these
That's a
other
bit of a
things
side
stack up
effect.
behind
Yeah.
it.
God, she's 90. She'll be 91 in April.
She's been queen for so long.
Yeah.
There are movies from like the 70s that parody the queen, and she's already old in those movies. It's crazy.
That's
Like-
crazy to think about.
Yeah,
like I
when
was
was
watching,
Naked
not the
Gun out?
70s, but yeah, like Naked
Naked
Gun,
Gun.
where he
Yeah, I
like
saw that.
tackles the queen. I'm like, man, that's like Leslie Nielsen who's dead, and the queen who's old.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I've ever actually seen a knighting. Does she, when she knights someone, does she hold a sword and put it on both their shoulders? Like, does she have to lift it up?
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't have to knight everyone. I don't think she's doing it these days. I know that
Okay.
Prince
Knighting.
William is knighting
You
people.
can probably get her a prop sword that's like hollow or something.
Oh,
like, it
it's
doesn't have
not
to be
the
a real
same.
sword.
Or it's like a real sword, and she like accidentally drops it, and it's like
Is that like the
That's
biggest honor in England, like to get knighted?
that's one of the
I
biggest
would say
honors
so.
in the
Yeah.
world.
Like, well, that's
actually.
what I'm saying. Is there anything like above knighting?
Queening.
I mean, in other areas, but I'd say, I mean, you can be sir, and then you can become like a lord. But I mean, being knighted is like is such a high honor.
I think even
I
in
would love to be
America-
knighted, man.
I think even
It'd be
America
weird.
that'd be
I-
the highest.
That'd be so cool. I mean, but they mostly don't. They don't. Do they knight non?
No, I think you have to be.
You have to
You
be.
can be an honorary knight.
I take that, man.
Yeah.
No, they'll knight
Do you-
Americans, but you won't be sir. You can't call yourself Sir Chris Demarais.
They will knight.
I guess military honors are in
There's
America
different
are probably
levels
better,
leading
like
up to
Purple
knighthood
Heart
too. Like
Yeah.
there's like, you can be like a OBE or whatever.
An OBE.
Well, like person of the British Order or
Okay.
British Empire.
Sounds like a gynecologist.
I'm looking up.
MBE.
Can non-British citizens be knighted? Sort of. Yeah, honorary knighthood, like you said, meaning they aren't allowed to add sir to their names. They do, however, get to append the suffix KBE if they desire.
What's the
Do all
K?
the Trumps
I
or
think
sorry,
knights of the British Empire.
Okay.
Or
do all the
knight of
presidents get knighted?
No.
Because I think George W. Bush did.
He was knighted.
What?
I think so.
I don't remember that.
Let's see who Americans that have been knighted.
I see Bill Gates, Steven Spielberg, Michael Bloomberg.
They all got knighted.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky
They're all
dogs.
KBE.
Some people turn it down, and they think they're being really. I mean, I guess it's up to them. They are them. They can choose whether they accept the knighthood, but
Did the
it's
Beatles?
usually pretty frowned upon if you don't accept your.
Well, why wouldn't
knighthood.
you?
Some people just aren't interested. It's like I don't care.
Did they?
It's like some people turn down the Nobel Prize, or just don't accept it.
But I feel like that's a political statement, is it? I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
None of us do.
Did the?
Let's see. What are the benefits of being a knight?
Ooh.
Let's see. Knights and Dames Grand Cross get to wear special gear to formal events like coronations. This includes a pink with gray edges satin mantle and a collar of 6 gold medallions.
Damn.
All members of the order are allowed to wear the group's badge. The badge is basically a cross hanging from a pink ribbon with gray edges. All the various ranks wear their badges in unique ways.
It's like leveling up in a video game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other benefits include getting a spot in the British Order of Precedence. Oh, wow. So that's pretty big.
What does that do?
It's the system that develops the hierarchy of ceremonial importance for things like state dinners.
Hmm?
And knights win their wives the right to be called lady. and Knights and Dames Grand Cross can modify their coats of arms to reflect the honor.
It'd be cool if you actually got a metal suit of armor with it.
So it was George H.W. Bush that got knighted and Ronald Reagan. It seems like they're the only politicians. Must have sucked for Clinton. I'm sure he might have been looking for it.
Yeah, what happened? It's like Reagan and Bush back to back, and then that's it.
No,
I guess they
that's
were
a
like,
bummer.
we don't want to create a precedent.
A precedence.
So I think
I
asked
would
you this-
accept the knighthood totally.
I think I asked you
I
this-
would too, dude.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, if I like play my cards right throughout life and I do a lot of good, maybe I'll get like a.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, you're
There's
British.
No way.
Like,
no way
you
I'll
could get knighted.
What do you have to do? What would you have to do? What would Gavin Free have to do to become a knight?
I probably have to get stuck into charity and do a lot. And do a lot for a lot of people.
Well, what
So-
I mean, I have to be less selfish, probably.
So
Uh-huh.
there's an
That's not
arts.
happening.
you could maybe
there's-
like do
there-
a cause. You
There-
know, like or like be a champion a cause, not even just like donate to charity, but like be like a voice, make him a movie or something that like did something for. We'll work on it.
You might have to get into arts and entertainment and really kind of do like. I mean, Kevin Spacey got knighted. I like Kevin Spacey, but you know, K-Pax.
K-Pax.
I think we should try and get Brandon knighted.
Oh,
That'll be a lot harder.
Yeah, that would be incredibly difficult.
You think you have a better chance of being knighted than I do?
Maybe if you
are
imported,
you suggesting you don't?
if you imported British,
I'm just saying. I think
grass,
it's 0 and 0.
You could do. You could help the British economy.
Yeah.
And your dogs could
A
shit on that.
local British farmer who farms grass for dogs to piss off, for dog toilets.
Oh God, they pooped so much while we were gone.
How often do your dogs have accidents and go in the house?
The pug, not at all. The puppy's getting a lot better. Really, the only time he'll pee is if he's really excited. He'll just be like, or the bedroom, the fucking carpet. That's the thing we're trying to get him out of. But so while we were gone, no, you said not to tell the poop story. I'm not gonna tell a poop story.
What? No, I didn't say that.
So while we were gone, obviously, we had a friend who took them out like 4 times a day, but they'll still go to the balcony and pee and poop because they have that, ability. But like the grass got kind of full, so then they just started pooping on the concrete. And then I went outside and I was like, well, I got to clean up all this poop. And I get there and then I'm overcome with this smell. And I had to run back in the house. I put my hands over my mouth and I literally throw up in my mouth. And like Paula's there and she's like, oh, that's bad. And like I run to the bathroom door, but it's closed. And I'm just like, and I literally almost busted the door down with my foot to get to the toilet. So she opened it, and then the top of the toilet was closed, and I was like,
Why'd you put it in the sink? And also, how is this the poop story and not the vomit story?
because I vomited because there was a ton of poop. Because the dogs,
I would call this the vomit story.
You should have vomited on the grass.
thing is, there's something wrong. Like they're not digesting their food well, so they're pooping way more, and it's super
Did you
like
change their food or
moist
something?
and soft.
Did you change their food or something? He's trying.
Yeah, I'm
so
trying. I
hard.
can't. Well, the puppy food that Penny so Penny has a certain type of food, and we always get her to turkey. The same brand, their puppy version only is in chicken. So I changed Penny to chicken just so if they mix, but they don't. Neither of them. It's just it's a mess.
Was
It's
it a
so much
gradual
poop.
change or did you just do it overnight?
With her, it was gradual, but I mean, this was like 3 months ago.
Oh yeah, it should be well.
And so they poop way too much, like way more, and it's just gross. And it's just I can't. I just have like all of this. I had to get a hose that connects to my kitchen sink and my balcony, and I could spray it.
Did I tell the cat poop bin story?
Cat poop bin? I don't think so.
So I was. It was when we first got Smee, and he had a litter box inside, and I used to hate changing the litter box and then bringing the bag of shit all through the house to put in the main bin. So I just bought this big bin that I put right outside the door that the litter box was there. So I would like empty it all into a bag and then just dump it in the bin. And I was like, and then I'll empty that bin once, but way less frequent.
Right.
And then I forgot to put the lid on the bin one day, and it rained,
Oh.
and it was like, I don't know, maybe like 8 litter boxes worth in the bin. And I was like, it's probably time to change it, to throw that out. And I just went out there expecting to open the lid. The lid was off, and it was full to the brim of like white cloudy water. Basically, it just like filled up, and all the cat shit and litter had just formed this paste. And I was like, oh no! So I was like, I was trying to tip out the water, and then it was too heavy for me to push over, and I was gagging at the smell.
Yeah, how's that not toxic? How didn't I get sick?
Yeah, so I just left it. And I waited for it to be dry for a long time. So the water level eventually went down to the point where it looked like wet sand in the bin. And I was like, oh, I guess I'll have to like tip this out somewhere. I literally couldn't budge the bin. It was so heavy. It was like a bin of wet sand, basically. And I was like pulling on it. It was just bending the bin and it wasn't moving. So then I
should
just
have hired a favor.
again. And then Dan came over, and I was like, Dan, you got to help me move this bin, dude. I can't move it. And I don't have to like individually dig out all the poo. So then we eventually like dragged it away to try and like get some of it into the other bin. And it was like all deforming and stuff. And it's like, we're just going to have to like cut the bin and then deal with it at that point.
Yeah.
How much was the bin?
The cost of it?
Yeah.
It was like from home. It was like one of those plastic black bins. It was like
At that point,
$10.
just throw it away. You're not
So
gonna get that thing
we couldn't tip it or anything. So we just took a Stanley knife to the bottom of the bin around the edge, and we just like pulled up the thing, and it all like spilled out. So we could deal with it. And we realized then, I guess there's like ammonia or something in cat shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we realized that as we were dealing with this stuff and like bagging it up into individual bags, we were running out of oxygen. Like we were like getting lightheaded, and I almost passed out because the smell was so bad.
Yeah.
So we were like doing this, but it was still like getting into all my sinuses, and then I was just running out of air, and I would like start slumping over, and I'd be like, "We're gonna die, dude. We're gonna die. One of us is gonna fall face down in it and then suffocate."
That's like the worst way to die.
Yeah.
That's almost like a Darwin Awards kind of thing.
Yeah. So we were like, and it was night as well. We were like doing it. We like dragged it to the back of the garden, and we were doing it in pitch darkness. We couldn't really see where anything was. We were both almost passing out. So we were like doing it in waves, like scooping all the stuff, and then
God.
we'd walk back to the house and be like, "All right, let's go back in." It was one of the worst nights of my life, and it was just like 8 cat box changes. That stuff is deadly toxic, and I have no idea why.
When I went to the outside to clean that stuff, I took like a sweater and took the sleeves and just like tied it around my face. So I just like had this thing here. I looked like I was a fucking terrorist.
Man, I got out of breath listening to your story, Gavin.
It was so weird. It was like, I don't know what it was doing to the air, but the oxygen content was way lower amongst the cat shit. Awful. Don't ever keep your cat poo to save time or like to save house stink.
The cat piss could really mess you up too. It's like
I think that's what
worst.
has the ammonia. I
Yeah,
think.
that's
What
the
do you
worst
What do you
part
think a favorite guy would have done if you had favored and had him do that?
You can't. That's not how it works. He has to buy something.
All right.
You can buy
So if you what?
You could buy a new bin.
Buy a new bin and then toss out the old one.
Yeah, like part of the process is expensive.
I don't think I've smelled anything that bad in my life.
That sounds terrible.
I was smelling it. I felt like I was smelling it through my face and eyes.
Ugh. I feel like I know what you mean.
Do babies smell that bad?
And it was like a new smell. It wasn't like, didn't smell like cat piss or cat poo. It was just mixed into this sort of ultra air venom.
That's why I have the grass, man. Sucks it all in. Do we have
God.
pictures of the grass so we can see?
Back to the grass, are we?
Well, I have the pictures, so I figure they can cut this out if
They're pulling it up. I can see it. They're working on it. Oh no, they're looking.
All
Never
right,
mind.
forget.
All right.
I looked it up. I saw their website.
All right, fair enough.
I was curious enough
It's great.
before I started talking about how stupid it was. I had to
I'm
look
sad
at
we
it.
didn't buy any grass for this podcast.
Should have. Next time we'll get some grass in here.
I'll order today. Be here in 4 days.
No, I meant favored it.
Yeah, we should favor it. How much was it?
They're out of stock of sod.
Out. Oh.
They ran out of grass.
Yeah.
They everywhere? Like nowhere in town has grass?
I think they just tried one place.
Yeah.
It's not grass season.
Oh man. So it looks like you can't buy grass locally. If only there was a service that would ship you beautiful green grass from Cal.
You know,
I'll
Brandon
stop.
actually won. He won the podcast.
I don't think so. Remember the vote?
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
Although I think people did agree with me. I feel like I'm being obnoxious.
I wonder how
Podcast.
many
I'm sure
people
I'll see
at
the votes.
home.
Agree with me about the knife, like getting the knife for your father-in-law. That's a nice gift. I think a lot of people.
Yeah, some people did agree.
Okay, I found the grass outlet in Austin. Shop online.
How much is a
looking,
grass
let me
patch?
see. Enter my zip code. Boop 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 boop.
Am I being obnoxious in this podcast? I feel like I'm.
That's fine.
You can buy. Am I looking for the cheapest grass I can buy? Yeah, because they're just gonna piss and shit on it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You can buy Raleigh St. Augustine grass.
Why are you not talking into your mic?
Oh, that's a shitty
Oh.
grass.
Raleigh St. Augustine grass
It's the worst grass.
is $125 for 450 square feet. So let's do some math here.
Well, can you buy it in
What's
smaller
the
units?
square root
You
of
probably can.
450?
What the fuck are you saying? So that's about 27, I would say 28 cents a square foot.
Yeah,
That's
it's
cheap.
pretty good.
So if you're paying $29, it's like you can get like
They
100.
probably don't sell it to you at a 1 foot square patch though.
Let me see if I can.
28 cents.
By now,
You'd buy like a 2x2 one, right?
It will cost
So-
more money for them to read your order than make.
How many square feet did you say?
450.
Buy like a
Yes.
2x2 foot patch, right? That's about what you were buying, right, Brandon?
Now I actually
like going
buy.
from HD to
Now actually
4K.
I buy a. I buy a 4x6.
4x6.
4x6. That's
So
24
it's 24
square feet.
feet. So,
So
it's
24
450.
times 28 cents is $6.72.
Well, I pay $25 for it.
So
Yeah,
you're
you
you're
see.
paying like $1 a square foot then.
Yeah, about $1, a little more.
You
Yeah,
pay-
but
you-
it shows up at my house.
you-
It shows up.
This one I can get this delivered, but the smallest you can buy is 450 square feet. That's the minimum order.
Well, my apartment's like 750.
So if this is 125, so that's like 5 deliveries for you.
That would solve one of my problems, because then if the dogs do their business inside and I have grass everywhere,
Yeah, exactly.
Have we talked about this before? I feel like this is a familiar conversation. Have we talked about having grass in your house?
Didn't we talk about it today?
No, like I think we talked about it in the past. It sounds very familiar
You
now.
need a skylight
What if you had like can you fake that? Like have like ultraviolet lights or
Yeah.
something?
if you want to live in an ultraviolet apartment.
Yeah, I mean have it. Yeah.
they tried that in the Astrodome. They had grass inside and glass panels, but then they had to paint the panels.
I would
Yeah.
live in a grass house.
Why?
I don't know. I like grass. Like it feels good on your feet.
It does if
Doesn't
there's
it?
not bugs in it.
Yeah, and there would be bugs in your. Well, maybe there would be bugs in
It'd be
your house.
great for bugs.
Do you
Yeah,
all
constant temperature.
do you all wear your shoes when you're in your house?
No,
No,
Depends.
Sometimes you do.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
I
try and
feel
take
like
them
I'm not
off.
at home if my shoes are on.
I when I was younger, I used to always wear my shoes in the house. Like it was just something that I wore. Right.
What if you were like on your bed though?
I would take it off on the bed. I think that's gross. But like as I've gotten older, it's like as soon as I get home, like off. I don't want to wear them anymore.
I try not to wear pants.
Don't
I-
you have a roommate?
No.
I prefer not wearing pants as well.
Yeah, it's or shoes or I mean like I don't know.
What do you wear
But-
instead of pants? Are you just in your underwear? Or do you put like
I have a
basketball
ponchos sometimes I'll wear.
A poncho?
Like a
Yeah.
big raincoat? Wait, what's a poncho? Isn't it like
It's
a
like a blanket.
rain cape?
That's like a
It's like a blanket with a hole in it.
yeah, like a snuggie
It's a
almost.
poncho.
Yeah.
Yeah, poncho is the original snuggie.
Poncho.
Yeah, just imagine the rain thing, but like
Fluffy?
like blanket instead of
Yeah.
rainproof.
What about if you're at someone's house, but it's like, friends, everything is chill. It's not like you don't know these guys. Do you take your shoes off or do you keep them on?
I would keep them on.
I just ask him.
The the person who lives there has their shoes off.
Then I would if I see them if I go in with someone and they take their shoes off, I'm like, oh, should I take my shoes off? I'll ask or just take them off. I don't know.
But it can be gross when someone comes over and they take their shoes off, but they just got bare feet all over your house.
I guess that's true.
It's like
Yeah,
put some socks on.
I think it's
But then
weird,
on the
but-
other side, everybody who comes in who's wearing their shoes, all that shit on their shoes is now on your floor. Like
Yeah.
you ever, like Swiffer or whatever, your floor, and then you look at the bottom of it and it's like black, and
It's
you're
filthy.
like, this is disgusting.
What's always
how-
fascinating to me is the shoes that people choose to wear when they get on an airplane, or like when they're at an airport. Does anyone else ever pay attention to that? Like I think it's like most of the time people wear sneakers, right? You got to wear sensible shoes when you're flying. Like you never know, you might have to run or you want to be comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But every now and then you'll see someone wearing like something absolutely ridiculous. Like I'll never understand when I see women wearing like super high heels that are really uncomfortable. It's like you really should be comfortable, right? Or like dudes wearing like flip flops.
Yeah, I never understood flip flops.
Well,
It's like-
I thought about
Why
that.
would you
'cause
wear
I'd
flip-flops
always
on a
wear tennis
plane?
shoes, but then also you have to take your shoes off at the airport and stuff. And flip flops are like super easy.
Not if you're pre-TSA or TSA certified or whatever.
Yeah, but
Pre-check.
like
Pre-check.
mo-
It's
you know,
amazing.
But to the point, like flip flops would be super easy to take on. But I guess then you're walking around barefoot
Yeah,
in the
that's-
airport.
that seems
Airport, yeah.
gross.
But you don't like flip-flops under any
I'm
circumstances.
not a flip flop
Yeah.
flop
I think-
fan.
I think it's a generational thing.
Like in college, it was like wear whatever you want, and then like I wore it at work, and then you guys like fucking destroyed me. Like
Yeah.
this, like our workplace is just this professional attire place. I remember we had one employee who started, and they wore like a suit on their first few days, and then on their third day they were in like super nerdy giant T-shirt and like shorts. I think Marshall used to wear an undershirt to work.
I
Marshall
remember
used to wear flip-flops, gym shorts, and an undershirt.
I mean, there's never been a uniform here, right? At
No.
any point. Just
No, fuck no.
don't wear like your nipples out.
That happens,
I
dude.
try to-
I mean,
I dressed a little nice when I started at first.
I remember
nice
you
shirt.
you being self-conscious about wearing flip-flops to work, because you would like usually wear flip-flops, but then you'd bring shoes to. I think that was around the time you drove over that curb and almost killed us.
Oh, it didn't almost kill us. Well, my car, it's like a Honda Civic, and it's one of those.
It's like a Honda
coupes.
Civic.
It's a Honda Civic, and it's a coupe, and it's extremely low to the ground. And Austin has like, we were at a restaurant with like, it was basically the parking lot was a field, and Gavin never had dinner with me again.
All right, well, it's about time to wrap this up.
All right.
So thanks for watching, everybody. We will be back live next week for the Pancake Podcast.
Yay!
So we're all looking forward to that. Oh, yeah, and if you, thank you, Patrick. If you want to send us a podcast theme, you can make one and put it right there. Send it to that email address.
When are we doing
And
Pizza Sphere?
We will play it during the credits of an upcoming podcast if we like it. We should do Pizza Sphere. Let's try to do it maybe the week after Pancake Podcast. We'll work on it. We'll figure out some logistics.
I feel like I was obnoxious this podcast. Everybody's gonna hate it. The
no,
only
no,
comment
Brandon.
was gonna be like,
Oh, and stay tuned. Try Hard Podcast coming up right after this. Oh, there it is.
On
It's
the
up
Cock
next.
Block.
The Cock Block. So check them out. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you guys next week.